After thousands of hours of compiling the most rigid rules for life I can find, in this collection, I will only do what is best for you. And that is why I have brought my assistant, Jen. Jen is going to help me make your life better. Say hello, Jen. All right. Thank you, Jen, for assisting. Now get back to your assisting and we'll get into it. Collection 1. Okay? So, first one. The largest battle you will ever have is with yourself. Okay? And it's not physical. It's not the outside. It's only with what's up here. Detrimental thoughts start to creep in. You have to override them. You have to have a voice that is stronger than all of the thoughts of doubt and weakness and whatever. You have to have a larger, louder, conscious thought process than that. Okay? Next. Learn, learn, learn. Always be the student. You have to be the one who does the learning because no one's going to learn it for you. You have to be the kind of person who's going to go out and that's going to pick up information from all around so that you can figure out how can I live life the best or how can I get in the best position. Always be the student. Okay? Sometimes you need to stop talking in order to be the student. Next. You should spend, this is a big one, you should spend every day trying to get in shape until you are because it is the most responsible thing you can do. We all know this. We all know that getting healthy is going to have a massive return on your life. Okay? You're going to get more healthy. You're going to get in better shape. You're going to have bigger arms. You're going to look better. You're going to feel better. Everything in your life is going to get better. You have to be very good at convincing yourself to do things. Okay? And you can do this pretty simply by just repeating the same thing over and over. When you repeat the same thing over in your head, it becomes something that you think about more and more and more. You reinforce that thought. Okay? So if you want to be the best at something, tell yourself, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. Repeat it. It is impossible to be anxious about something. Okay? So when you are anxious about something, you're anxious that the thing is going to happen in the future. Okay, so the future hasn't happened yet. How can you be anxious about something that hasn't even happened yet? How can you feel something towards something that hasn't happened yet? You know, I could be anxious that I'm going to get in a car crash. Am I going to get in a car crash today, tomorrow? No, I'm not. Why? Because it hasn't happened yet and I'm not going to be afraid of it. I'm not going to let that thought seep in or creep in or anything into my mind. Because that's weakness, okay? And I don't accept that. Next, the most powerful feeling is placing yourself in the shoes of someone who's way less fortunate than you. There is some kid who lives in a dirt hut in Syria and gets bombed frequently, okay? So if you look at your life, what's around you, you live in a house, you have a phone, you have food. These are all things that have been built around your life. And so if you had none of that, how would your life feel? Probably not very good, okay? And you can use that as motivation. You can use that as a way to go, that person was way less fortunate. Guess what? I have the effort, I have the time, I have the consistency or whatever I need in order to get better, get stronger, whatever it is. The subconscious is more important and more powerful than the conscious mind, okay? So our conscious mind is our thoughts, what we think, okay? And we have loads of conscious thoughts, hundreds of them, all right? We think about, what we have to do next, what we need to get out, get out of the fridge or when we need to leave or go to work, whatever, okay? Those are all our conscious thoughts. Now, all the stuff we do in between those of, if I need to go to work, I don't think about going and getting in my car, unlocking my car, or, pulling out my keys, or I don't think about any of those things. Those are all subconscious. So you have way more subconscious things happening than you do conscious. So train your subconscious because it's more powerful than your conscious. See the big picture in your life. Don't plan day to day, okay? When you plan day to day, that is how you end up in a situation you don't want to be in. You live a job and have a job that you don't want. You live a life that you don't want. And that is going to position you poorly. So you want to look monthly, which is like medium term, long term. Like you want to figure out, where do I want to go? And then how do I get there? If you think about something like college, you have to go for 4 years in order to learn the skills that you need in order to get the job that you want. So if it takes that long to do it, in order to make more money or to contribute more or have that job, then you want to be thinking in a 4-year term or longer, okay? So, and look, I take notes because it helps me remember. It helps me remember more important stuff. I can kind of pick and choose, and then I can build my own collection at the same time, okay? So I will always push you to be better, and that's going to include something like taking notes. Next, when you have no strong beliefs, values, or boundaries, you absorb all of the thinking from your surrounding environment, from your childhood. You absorb all of those things, and that's who you become. Do you want to be the kind of person whose thoughts are limited by their environment or their childhood or who they spend, time with? No, okay? Because you want a different life. You want a better life. You want something that's going to make you more successful, more happy. Okay, that's what you want. So what you have to do is you have to rewrite your values, your beliefs, and you have to make it into the best possible character that you can be. You want new beliefs, new values than your childhood, okay? You don't want to be a child forever, okay? And so you can choose and you can subconsciously get yourself to the point where you have the beliefs that you want or the values that you want. Get selective about your time. You should be thinking, where should I spend my time? Because time is ruthless. It has no mercy. Okay, so focus your attention on the things that are going to give you good return, the things that are going to build your life better. Okay, you want to go up the hill. You don't want to go down the hill. Okay, so where should you spend your time? Stop thinking about things so intensely. Once you think about something and then you get started on the right path, keep going. Don't stop going down that path. Don't stray away or find the right path and then sprint down it as fast as you can. You need a paradigm shift. Okay, so a paradigm is a principle that you live your life through. And we all have our sort of wake-up call. Whether it's I got to get in better shape, or I haven't gotten married yet, whatever it is, that is a paradigm that you have to live your life through in order to get, a better result or whatever, okay? So when you have that moment of a paradigm shift or find that moment, your whole life changes. So find the kind of paradigm shift that you want. And if that is going to the gym, then your whole paradigm should be, I need to get healthier. I need to get stronger and better. Analyze your own tendencies, especially when things are given to you quickly. So if you want to have a longer attention span, or you want to have a stronger body, if you're doing stuff that's weak, then you're not going to have a stronger body. Analyze that tendency. If you find yourself, scrolling, then the problem is going to be that you're going to have that sort of weakness. You don't want that. You want to analyze that tendency so you can curve it and put it into something more productive, like going to the gym, getting in shape, whatever, okay? Progress is the underlying principle of everything. It is all centered on progress, okay? Progress is evolution. If we think about it, all of the stuff around us is based on evolution. We decided before, when we were cavemen, that living a life of cavemen and survival and all of that is not nearly as good as living in a place where we have shelter and food and water and we have resources available to us. Okay? So that's all based on evolution and progress and the ability to move society forward. Okay? So if you ever have a problem with something, look at the progress of it, because that's probably your problem. Everything you do affects who you are becoming, okay? And treat it carefully, because you want to become the right person. You don't want to end up 5 years down the road and you're the wrong person. You're not a person that you like. That's not what you want. You don't want to end up living a life that you don't want, being someone who you don't want. You don't want those things. Think about, who do I want to be? And then align the things in your life with what that person would be or what he would do in order to become that person, okay? Treat everything carefully. It works on me while I work on it, okay? And wherever your attention is going is what's going to affect you. It's going to affect you psychologically, physically, emotionally. So have your attention in the right place, okay? And your character will naturally follow. Vocalize everything. You want to vocalize all the things that you're doing because it reaffirms who you are. And I want you to be loud about it when you say it, okay? You don't want to be quiet and shy about it. You want to be bold. You want to be out there, okay? You want to vocalize the things that you're doing. You want to reaffirm yourself in a bold way because you don't want to be weak, shy, or someone who's not, doesn't have emphasis behind it, that doesn't have character behind them. You don't want that. Okay? You can build out the best character ever and be so shy that no one ever sees it and that you barely even show it, and that would be so lame. Okay? So be bold, vocalize yourself, reaffirm yourself. When you say something to someone, it reaffirms who you are. Word selection. This one's similar. Your vernacular will drive your thinking, or the vocabulary you use. Okay? So if I say some words like failure, loser, disgraceful, it kind of has its own vibe to it. Okay? You kind of think, that's not a very good place to be. I don't really want to be over there. And if I said words like winner, competitor, beast, dominator, if I said those words, that also has a vibe. And that kind of brings out, someone who's got some authority, some emphasis. It's a good vibe. It's a much better vibe. And that's who you want to be. So you want to use your vernacular or your vocabulary, and you want it to be who you want to be. Okay? If you want to be a winner, call yourself a winner. If you don't want to be a winner, call yourself a loser. Okay? Don't do that. You're a winner. Set aside hours or time to think about your life. Give yourself time to position yourself correctly. So if we think about something like college, okay, college takes 4 years. So if college takes 4 years, how much time would you spend thinking about what track you want to go down? Would you spend 10 minutes? No, right? Obviously not, because it's 4 years to 10 minutes. That doesn't make sense. Would you spend 1 month? Well, let's see, 4 years is 48 months. So 48 months to 1 month, even that sounds ridiculous. And that's thinking about it for an entire month. So when you see that there's a trade-off or something, and you have this large amount of time that you have to spend committed to it, you want to put some time aside to think about it, okay? If college is 48 months of your life, you probably want to think about it for 3 or 4 months, okay? That seems like a fair trade-off to me for what I'm getting ready to commit to. So think about your life and do the things that are going to help you long-term, okay? That's what I got for you. See ya.